Hey guys, welcome to
Let's Have a Talk with CJ
and Stardella, and now we're back again with Desiree.
Hi guys.
And today's topic is going to be a little bit more serious. We're going to be talking about colorism and racism, and we're going to be asking Miss Desiree here some questions.
We just want your opinion, your thought on colorism, how you feel about it.
In general, I think it's very unfortunate. It's a very unfortunate topic it's a necessary but unfortunate topic to have because it happens so often. And a lot of people think that we've gotten past it, and we have not.
Yeah, it's like the beginning.
If you're going to acknowledge what's going on and admit the faults of what's happening, admit the wrong.
Not only that, starts off with correcting the things that you do and then helping those around you.
Yeah.
If you're self-aware, that's wonderful, but educate the people that are surrounding you.
Again, like admit the wrong, like this was wrong. You admit and acknowledge that, and let's try to fix and see what we can do to make it better.
Yeah.
Let's stop repeating history.
For real.
Make a change. Because obviously things ain't going right. Let's change everything. Let's change our way how we see things.
And it's unfortunate because it happens more with our own people than anybody else. And that's just my thought from what I experienced growing up. I can't say I necessarily have experienced colorism towards myself, but I see people experience it. I hear it, like when they say, oh, she's cute for a dark-skinned girl. Oh, she's cute for a light-skinned girl. Oh, she's, chocolate brown. Like, it's okay to call people that, but now you are separating them as a group. Instead of just looking at them as a whole. Instead of just saying, oh, she's a really cute girl.
Right. And leave it at that, period, at the end.
I grew up making jokes, clowning about people being midnight, clowning about people being vanilla. Oh, that's that light skin shit. You know what I'm saying? I like that. But,
I mean, we had our mamas saying it.
Right. But it's when you realize, like, that was really wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or when you realize that the people you were close to are holding it in and then start coming out about how it really affected them.
Right.
Now, I do think some jokes are necessary, kind of give you a little tough skin, kind of, give you how to deal with it, but you have to be very careful with making jokes like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful with making, people can build tough skin, be able to handle situations, but some things are so damaging, and some things are can be controlled on how the next generation handles it.
You gotta watch what you say and how you say it, because like again, some people can take it and some people cannot.
Yeah. And words are forever. You can apologize, but the fact of the matter is it's still been said.
Yes.
So for my first question, is colorism just about skin color, or do you believe it's connected to something deeper? So like, say facial features or body build.
That's a really good question. I never even thought about that. I do think most of it is based on skin color. Okay. And I say that because going back to like slave days, you got the house chick, you know what I'm saying, or the house person, and they kept the lighter people in the house and the darker people in the field. And they did that to make lighter skinned people think that they were better than darker skinned people.
Yes.
To think that, oh, they're dark, so they're not attractive, or they're not worth anything. Right. So I do think it's really, really skin based more than anything, because you can have facial features, you know what I'm saying? You could be light skinned with a big nose, think about she black, that's automatically like a whole different subject. So I do think it's skin based, because it makes people think that the color of their skin is what makes them better. Yeah. Because you can be a light skinned person with a big nose, messed up teeth, and some people think that you're still better than the brown skinned, dark skinned person who have a slim face feature, or they call it more European, like that. So yeah.
And it's sad because like we're systematically programmed from something that we didn't even create. Right. But it's like from generation to generation, they just kept it going, and nobody ever they probably knew it was wrong, but nobody ever took the time to like correct it. So it just keeps continuing and continuing.
I think people took the easy way out.
Yeah.
They didn't want to be the one to go against the grain.
Yeah.
They didn't want to be the one to make you think. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You have a handful of people that made you think.
Mm-hmm.
You had you know, and it's crazy because you have a lot of lighter skinned people who are more pro-black than darker skinned people.
That is true.
You know, you have tons of them. They're the ones that will check you really quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they don't want you to think because I'm light skinned I'm not black. Like, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I really think some people just want to take the easy route. They didn't want to have to deal with nowadays they call it backlash. You know, they don't have to deal with people talking and having to fight. But it took a lot of people to be that first to say something, to fight, to bring it to people's attention. And see, like, colorism, I'm going to just use myself. Okay, maybe I'm going to say colorism, or maybe it could be a face feature thing. I don't know. But I've always thought of myself as being a black woman. I never really considered where I could be from, or anything like that. When people ask me, where are you from? I say, I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I know, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, no, where's your family from?
The States.
Los Angeles, California.
But that goes into a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like we only know where our close knit is from. We don't know where our roots are connected.
That's right. With people, I'll tell them like, yes, when even filling that job application, I'm black, I'm an American, but my DNA may say other. Because again, I don't know how far back I can go.
Right.
But when you look at me, I just see a black woman.
Right.
But for one, I see myself as an American.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, so lately, I want to say for the past 2 years, I have been getting like, you have a red skin tone, like undertone. You know, like, are you from like the Caribbean or something?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, well, on my dad's side of the family, they're like from the Virgin Islands. That's where they're based. They're like, oh, that's it. You're from the islands. And I'm like, nah, I'm from LA.
My family's from the islands, but
I don't even know them.
They always want to connect you to something else.
Yeah, instead of you just being a black person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have a pretty skin tone. I call myself peanut butter. I've been called caramel. I've been called
I remember.
But you know what? If people look at me, I say I'm peanut butter brown. That's just where I put myself on the color scale. Now, that could be a base off of colorism.
Yeah.
You know? I never thought about it until you just said it. Like,
because it do make sense because there's so many different types. Like you got the white chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, caramel, all that type of mess.
Right.
And it's sad that we kind of put ourselves in that category.
But when they tell me like, you got a red skin tone, I'm like, no, I don't. You got a little exotic look.
Thank you.
Or
be like, my hair is red, that's it. Or my lips are red.
I said that one time. I think it's a reflection from my hair. That doesn't mean like I was stupid, but
it could be that, like, because you are often coloring your hair. Like sometimes when you change your hair, it brings out different attributes in your skin.
Yeah.
So it could really be that.
And my hair, just for everybody who don't know, I usually wear red hair.
Mm-hmm.
I just happen to go purple, black right now, but it's usually red. So that's why we're talking about the red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a tough thing to think about.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It is. All right. So, what about when it comes to social media, like things that you see on TV with colorism? How do you feel about that? Like how it used to be. To me, it felt like it was more light-skinned girls on TV than dark-skinned girls.
Oh yeah. I definitely, when I was younger, I didn't notice it as much, but as I got to be in like high school, I was like, why is there, you have like a chocolate man with a light-skinned girl, or you got a light-skinned man with a dark-skinned girl, or the dark-skinned girl is the ghetto friend, and the light-skinned girl is the kind of like good girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was really portrayed as black is bad. Darker is bad. Darker is ghetto. Darker is loud. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's so much.
And it was really about looks. When people like, it just looks better. Like when I think about Dream Girl, with
Beyonce
and Jennifer Hudson. Beyonce is, she not no like super light skinned person, but Jennifer Hudson
but compared to Jennifer Hudson,
right,
was
very fair skinned.
Yeah. And so then I feel like they took Jennifer out of the picture, one because she was a little heavier.
Yeah.
You know, they go by that. Like, it's just the appearance. They think the thinner your nose is, the smaller your eyes are, you know, the smaller your lips are. It's ironic because they want everything that we have without having to go through what we go through. But they, you know, they did that, and it didn't really, like, I don't think nothing of it because we like to watch those shows. We like to laugh at stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I liked about Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They had Hillary as the bougie chick, but then you had Will and Carlton. Carlton was the more sophisticated one, and Will was the more from the street. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Goofy kid.
And I think social media, TV, any type of form of televised shows, anything like that, have such a huge effect on how people react, how people go about their lives on a daily basis. And I think that it's really unfortunate because that means that people don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Because if you know who you are,
don't worry about it.
If you know where you come from, if you know the moral and value that your family instilled in you,
right,
you wouldn't even compare yourself to people on the street.
True.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't. I mean, it's okay to want to enhance yourself. Yeah, that's your personal thing. But do it because you want to do it, not because they think my nose too big, so let me thin it out. You know, or they think I'm about to say it, my butt too small. You know, so they go get these implants, and now people dying from it because you didn't accept who you are. You know what I mean?
Or they're regretting it.
So, and that's how media have a big influence on people because people don't know who they are. They're trying to figure out who they are. It's okay to be in the process because it's part of life trying to figure out who you are.
Right.
But I'm gonna use this off subject as an example. On TV, we always think that Middle Eastern countries, African countries are really poor countries. You know, all we see is how they starving, how they got villages. But then you go visit their country, they got a beach better than Santa Monica.
Yes.
You go visit their country and they're rich in culture. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing about colorism. That's the same thing about social media. Like, they only put out what they want you to know because they want you to think so small. And then so when you go and see a dark skinned chick, you out there calling her midnight, purple black. Yeah. And I'm mentioning those things because I've done it. I've been there. You know, but it's all about learning from it and growing from it.
Right. Yeah. The best thing about you acknowledged it. Yeah. And it's like you said, yeah, I did it, and now I realized it was wrong, so I can correct myself and let you guys know, hey, it's not right. I did it, and I'm telling myself it's not right.
Yeah. And people need positive, like, it all starts from home. People need positive reinforcements of, I am beautiful, I am worth this.
Yes.
And if they don't have that type of person in their life when they grow up, guess what they're going to do?
They're going to follow whatever the TV is telling them.
And it's
that's
like,
what I'm saying, that starts at home.
Yeah, because I've seen a couple videos, especially when I see a dad telling their little girl, look in the mirror and tell them, like, repeat what I say. And to me, that is so beautiful when you see a parent doing that to their child, because you don't need the world to tell you that you're beautiful. You're just not, I don't need you, or definitely no man to tell me that. I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm smart, and tell me all this other things.
Right. Right, just like, I don't know if you guys seen that video on social media where the hairstylist was doing the little girl hair, and she was looking in the mirror and she's telling the little girl, you are so pretty, and the little girl just starts crying like, no, I'm not, I'm ugly. And you know, she was a dark skinned little girl, she had little braids or like dreads in her hair or something like that. And then the lady had to, this is someone that's not even like blood to her, I want to say, I could be wrong, but she was just doing this little girl hair. And she had to stop and tell her, no, you are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So you have somebody outside of your household telling you you're beautiful because somebody in the household
It's telling you otherwise.
Yeah.
or just not telling you, period. But
Yeah.
not telling you is also
Yeah.
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But it's a systematic thing.
Yeah.
Like where somebody
Start.
possibly her mother's mother may have not gave her positive affirmation, so she don't know how to give that to her child.
Yes.
And
Right.
that's going into something way
Right.
deeper.
Yeah. I mean, we
It's
see
a lot of
that
things.
it's a lot.
Yeah. So what's the difference between preference and colorism or racism? So say I'll use myself as an example. What if I only like this type of man? He has to be this height, this color, this build. But that's for me. I'm not saying everybody else outside of that is not attractive or, you know, or worse or bad or anything like that. It's just my preference. Like, does that make you a bad person for thinking like that? Because there was an incident in social media where two people went against each other because of something that was said in a song. And he just blatantly said, this is my preference. I'm not saying that you're ugly and I don't find you attractive, but this is what I like.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that is a tough one. One, it's okay to have preference because that is your choice. You have to, okay, this is going to sound so bad,
Okay.
but it's the truth. Me, I prefer to have a stockier guy over a skinny guy, you know?
Okay.
That's my preference, you know? Not saying that I've never dated a skinny guy. Maybe I've dated a skinny guy and you know, I didn't like it, you know what I'm saying? But I like a guy who has some meat on their body
Yeah.
compared to some slim dude. I feel like, I don't know, it's just,
That's your
like
preference.
My
That's what
arm
you
should touch like this when I hug you know what I mean? But that's my thing because it makes me feel, yeah, it makes me feel more comfortable, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But if you're basing your preferences off of the skin tone, off of the
Hair texture.
the shape, you know what I'm saying, off of the eyes. Now, this is what I am going to say. When you, a lot of people, I'm not going to say a lot of people. I have come across people who are like, I want to date a light-skinned chick because my kids are going to come out light-skinned. That's colorism.
That's the racism.
It's just like you can't help when, like I already said, when it comes to like, there's no, we come all different shapes and colors.
I'm going to reference back to the show Girlfriend with Tony. You know,
Lord.
she didn't want to talk to the successful dark-skinned man because she blatantly said, I don't want my kid to come out dark because she dealt with the colorism and within her own life, she didn't want her kid to go through that. So it's such a heavy thing, but it's like, I want to, I want my kids to be dark, I just don't want to date somebody who got, diabetes when their family and my kids come out with it. That's different.
Yeah, that's different.
Those are things to kind of consider.
Yeah.
But I would never, if I think we're vibing and if I think that we are, getting along and you just happen to be out of what I prefer, I would still give it a chance because that's your character.
Right.
Now, would I just go up to you and be like, hey, how you doing? Or whatever? Probably not. But if we just happen to be good in a good space, good chemistry and stuff like that, some people be like, I would have never thought about marrying this person, but they're so good to me. That's your preference, and then that's you kind of stepping outside of that. But if you're like, nah, she too dark, nah, he too dark, or he too light, that's colorism.
Yes.
Your biggest blessings are the things that you most likely don't prepare for.
Yeah.
So you don't even gotta be looking for this type of person, but that is probably what's best for you. So give it a try.
So yeah, that is a tough thing because so many people they make their preferences based off of colorism.
And I don't even think sometimes they like really know that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like they really, some people don't really know that. But me, I've dated dark skin, brown skin, light skin, yellow. They look yellow.
Yellow.
I just never dated nobody green.
No hawks over here.
But I'm just saying, I try to keep an open mind. I think a lot of people should do that because, like I was saying, they base their everything off of colorism, off of what they think society wants.
And also think the same way that you're critiquing somebody, that's the way somebody else is looking at you. So ease up on it. Be open to things you may not understand. You might find something that you've never experienced before because you're opening up, giving yourself a chance, giving them a chance. So it's always good to do what's not always trending or popular.
Yeah. All right. Have you guys, with your family, discussed about colorism or racism?
I have not discussed it with my own family. Because and it's strange that I haven't, because I got the whole rainbow of my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was never a question, never an issue, because that's my family. Now, I have talked to, I'm not going to say the name.
No.
But I have talked to someone that experienced it with their own family. And now that this person is older, they are seeking counseling. Seeking help, which I think is amazing because this person is older than me. So I want to say generations before that, back in the day, it was a really it was a thing to just have colorism in your family, and people just did it. You got your own friends and family calling you out of your name because of the color of your skin. Now you don't want to wear shorts. You want to be covered up. You want to make sure that you're well dressed so you can put your well dressed out there, so your skin tone won't be noted. And speaking to this person, it was one of those things where I was like, dang, I didn't even know you were going through that. Because they kept it to themselves, because this is what they said. Because I was getting it at home and getting it at school, I thought nobody cared. And that was like an eye opener for me, because they felt like they could not come home to say what was happening at school because it was happening at home. So why would they care what's happening at school if you're doing it to me too?
No safe space.
Yeah. So I think that was a really strong thing for it was an important topic for us to talk about, because one, people hold stuff in. And you never know what people are going through, and it be stuff that you never thought of because you don't have to experience it the way they experience it. That's why when people are passionate about something, I try not to judge them on that passion about it, because they have experienced it. They have actually went through it. I can't relate, but I was like, dang, that made me aware of how I talk to people in my family, because I have the whole rainbow. It goes from extremely light skin to really dark skin. And every family have it, but you have the auntie who might cling to the person that's more their skin tone, or the one that I think because they're lighter they're gonna make it in life.
That plays into favoritism.
Yes. Right. That's why colorism is such a big, broad topic, because just like how you were talking about in dating, having preferences, but it could be based off of colorism, or now you're talking about favoritism because of colorism. That's my favorite niece. And then when colorism happens within a family, people don't realize how bad it affects somebody, and then you wonder why they out in the street doing whatever they're doing. Because you don't care about me at home. And that's why you're talking about reinforcing your affirmation at home. Somebody telling you that from the beginning. And people always say, somebody shouldn't have to tell you that you're beautiful. You know that you're beautiful. No. When you are a child, it starts at home, because that child doesn't know. Most kids don't know nothing about color until somebody says something. So you have to tell them from the beginning, but you don't tell them, like, if you say you are beautiful, you ain't gotta be like, you a beautiful dark-skinned girl.
Just say you're beautiful. You're
What the hell?
human being.
Yeah,
Because they
say
don't think that that's right to hear it like
Yeah.
that, and it's not. It's not.
And to the person you were talking about that's saying it's getting help, I'm happy for you. I wish you the best, and I hope everything works well, because that is brave for you to do that, because not many people will do it, have the courage. And for that person having it, I'm happy for you and wish you all the best.
Yeah. Self-discovery and self-help is never nothing to be ashamed of. If you are struggling with something, seek help, talk to somebody. To just get it off your chest sometimes can lift that weight, and you can get an understanding of certain things that you've been programmed to think. You know, so like talking through it, talking with your friends, family, or sometimes you need an unbiased opinion, go to therapy.
Yes.
Right? Therapy is wonderful.
Nobody outside your family
Yeah.
if you can. Now, you people have family that they can really confide in and talk to about, but sometimes it's best to go outside your family, someone who don't know you from dirt.
Right. And a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, because what I've learned is that with the therapy, they're not there to tell you how to live your life. They're there to guide you through, to help you figure out something. That's when you discover hurt that you buried deep down inside. Different topic, but I'm just saying, if you can get help, try to do it with somebody who don't know you at all, because everybody means well when you express your feelings to them, but it's still like a but.
Yeah.
But it, but that, you know, just like when you talk about colorism or racism to people outside your race, they don't get it, and they go, but you know, but this sometimes, but that. Or you talk to people who are your same color, and they go, but this is how it's always been.
Yeah, and that's where you get the feeling of somebody's being insensitive to you, and that's not always the case. It's just like, I don't feel the same way you do. I've never experienced that in the same manner. It's valid. I hear you, and I feel sorry for you, but I can't give you the tools that's gonna help you through this because it ain't happened to me yet. So that's why, like we all said, therapy is key.
Yes.
Like it's really
don't
good.
just go to church.
No.
Go talk to somebody.
Church is good.
It can't. I guess it depends your situation and how comfortable you feel talking to somebody at church. Because sometimes you be like, no, you're too judgmental.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me take that back.
I get.
I'm not saying don't just go to church. I'm saying it's okay to talk to your pastor and stuff like that about it. Because a lot of times when people just say, just go to church, just pray about it and stuff like that, sometimes you need to talk to somebody outside of the church, outside of praying. Because you can pray all day, you can ask God for the answer all day, but if you don't have anybody to really make you see or help you get your way through, because sometimes just talking about it opens up a lot of things. Just like earlier when she was asking me have I experienced colorism, I'm like, no. And then I start talking about the red undertone, you know, it was an aha moment, like, oh, this is where that come from.
Yeah. It's just like I didn't even realize it was happening to me, and it's been happening.
Yeah.
I've experienced blatant racism. I've experienced colorism within a group of friends and a group of strangers. Yeah. How people see you is a powerful thing, but you have to learn to not internalize that. What you have for me don't mean that that's what I got for me.
Yeah.
Be stronger than the things that people can put on you. Because that leads into different forms of depression, self-doubt, and all of that. That's going into a completely different subject as well. But
because it's such
it's all connected.
Yeah.
It's all connected. Yeah. So, yeah.
You wonder why people be feeling traumatized about certain things, you know? They won't wear certain things because they're like, oh my God, look at your leg. Did you ever tan them? You know? Oh my God, you're so
It's
white.
not funny, but it's like, I heard that before from people.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's say my dad is a very fair-skinned man. But he brings it up about having really light legs because he doesn't get any sunlight, you know? But that's the same thing of like now we're just making a joke because you don't get any sunlight. Your leg is lighter than your face. But I'm not saying, oh, you're a white boy. You think you're a white boy. It's okay. You don't get no sunlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't need no sunlight. You light skinned. You know that's putting colorism into it. Rather just making a joke like, do you ever just put your leg in the sun? You know?
Yeah,
that's why I was saying, like, it's important. Like, it's okay to joke, but you really have to be cautious about what you joke about and how you do it.
And this is, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say definitely depending on who the person is, because like you said, some people can't take a joke.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't take one for years, but
I'm like, just
I
laugh.
finally got my life together with the joke.
You like, just laugh, just so, ha, ha, ha. Just laugh. It ain't gonna hurt.
Colorism and racism, I feel like people use that so loosely.
Man.
That's a big jacket to put on somebody. There could have just been an honest misunderstanding. So it's like, that's where the conversation needs to be had. If you feel somebody has disrespected you or separated you from a group, bring it up. Bring it up in that moment. Don't let that sit on your soul and let it soak, because it'll turn into more than it actually probably was. It'll turn into anger instead of a misunderstanding. So talk to people if they're saying something that's making you feel uncomfortable. Learn how to remove those sensitive buttons, because everything is not about you.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. So you have to remember that, like, everything is not about you. Just because I generalized something doesn't mean that it was geared towards you. You made it about you. That's how I feel. You know. So if I'm not personally pointing you out, saying this, and that, and making you feel uncomfortable, there's nothing else you need to say to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be careful with saying people are being colorist and being racist, because once you say that, that's a stigma that can carry along with that person. You can take things that are important from their life away from them by saying something that's really not true.
Yeah.